This morning they went up in this canyon and they went in this dark timber. So more than likely with the heat we had today, they're gonna slide down to these ponds and get a drink before they head out to feed. We heard a couple bugles, but I haven't heard any for a while, so they're probably calming down, not moving, maybe laying down. So we're just gonna stay low, keep the play in the wind, and just sneak up there and wait for them to get up and try to get in between them. Perfect. There's a bunch of them on the other side. There's actually 17. I walked this one day.
Man, Billy, that was awesome. I've never seen so many big bulls getting after it.
Yeah, that's a typical night here at Echo Mountain. I mean, you just kind of listen for them and make your way, play the wind right, and try to get on top of them or get ahead of them, and that's pretty normal here. I mean, that's one group. There's probably 5 more groups around the corner. That was actually a smaller group than we've been seeing, so.
Just to have that many animals around you, and for what, 2-3 hours, 10 days into the season, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I take it for granted a little bit just because I'm in them all the time, and 30 days of archery season and I'm in elk 30 days, so.
Tremendous genetics, giant 6x6s. You think that's a big bull until you look over the shoulder of that one and see the next one, so.
Yeah, the habitat here, we let Mother Nature take care of it, and a lot of people don't like beavers, but up there where we don't have a lot of cattle, and we have our beavers taking care of the ponds for us, and that one canyon, there's 17 ponds on it, and that just creates a lot of habitat for the elk, and good water, and water makes everything. And this ranch is fortunate to have springs everywhere and 3 kind of big reservoirs and a good creek system that runs through it. In the springtime we have 3 creeks that run through here, and then they kind of dry up a little bit, and then we can irrigate almost all year round through one of our irrigations. So we have plenty of water up here.
You can tell the updating of the pastures and rock removal, overseeding, definitely see that new growth.
Yeah, that's taken about a 4-year program to reseed everything up here. I mean, and just created more habitat, and that's why you see so many whitetail here now and mule deer in the evening, and it's just been good for our cattle operation. You can run 800 pairs up here. We only run 500. So, I mean, theoretically, we're just using about half the ranch for our cattle operation. It's a comfortable ranch. I mean, I can bring my entire family, 6 kids. We got 11 bedrooms here between the 4 houses, so we can have a big group up here. And when it gets a little bit cold, we ride in the riding arena. We got a 300 by 100 foot riding arena. It's all heated and water systems for sprinklers.
It's a really refined, the white picket fence down to, like you were saying, the concrete floor, heated buildings. Truly put a lot of work into it. So.
Yeah, just our tree systems, all water. We have sprinkler systems. We have 3 good wells up here. Our wells are pretty deep, and as we continue, we've just been improving it. I built a 6,000 foot shop, and for just equipment that's completely heated, and we put in our own corral systems and our own branding systems, and so we've developed. On paper, it's about $7 million worth of improvements we've put on the property. It's 6,000 acres. Then we have another 1,200 acres of state that's kind of landlocked in the back, and You know, I feel like I've walked every inch of this, but every time I go up there, there's a whole new part of the ranch, another canyon I didn't even know about that, you know, it kind of hides itself. And, you know, it's pretty remarkable back up in there. Just the rock structure, and that's, you know, where the bears hang out. And it's my favorite part of the ranch.
The dark timber and the open park-like grassy meadows, you know, little pockets. It's truly diverse. So.
The new road they put in, it takes about 45 minutes to get to Casper. It's got everything, you know, United flies in there, and it's got great medical, and it's just a good town to raise kids in and be a part of the community. And Fort Collins is about 2.5 hours, so we like to go to a lot of AV games, 10 or 15 games a year, so 3 hours is not that bad in a vehicle to buzz down there. And then Cheyenne Frontier Days is only an hour and a half away, so you're set in a pretty good area right in the middle of the state. And you know, if you have a desire to go up to Yellowstone Park and go look at the same thing that you have here, you know, it's about 4 hours up there.
So tell me a little bit, I know family man, your 6 kids, all like to hunt. Tell me a few experiences you guys have had out here.
Well, we've had so many. I mean, that's the great thing about having a place like this, the memories you build. And, you know, I have 5 grandkids too on top of it. So, I mean, we've taken some big elk out of here, don't get me wrong, but I think some of the best times I have is when I have my little 6-year-old, my little 4-year-old that I'm teaching how to bugle and how to cow call, and they bring in their first elk. You know, it's not like a trophy, but they're excited and they're cow calling, and they bring elk right to them within 20 yards, and then they're hooked. You know, and that's probably my favorite thing of the ranch. And then when I see my older kids that are 36 and they shooting their first archery bull, and you know, just excited how, you know, it just makes them feel. And you know, that was passed on from my dad and his dad, and you know, I've passed it on to my kids, and they're passing it on to their kids. So it's just a tradition that our family is, you know, really strong.
And then, like we mentioned earlier, the quality of the mature, true, you know, the herd bulls. You want to tell me a little bit about, you know, the characteristics, you know what's taken to get that quality of animal here. And you know, everybody says, oh, I've got 380-inch bulls, but truly, you know, this ranch has 380-inch plus bulls.
You know, I've not hunted a lot of other places in the country other than Wyoming, so you know, I'm kind of limited on what other people have, but I do know what I have. And you know, people say they have 380 bulls, and they may have one. We have several. So I mean, a 350 bull is everywhere. I mean, that's about our average. It's even our 5 points are ginormous.
They are.
You know, and that I think that just with the mineral that is in the feed from our data that we collect on our cattle, we can't even send them to a feedlot and gain the weight we're gaining on our food up here. So there's some really good mineral in our grass, and just the fresh water supply, and that just builds genetics. And every time we have a wet spring, it just keeps growing those horns. And I can't really say this is the best place to hunt elk, but I would be surprised if there's a better place.
I agree. I'd put it up against anyone.
Yeah.